My name is Jackie Schlegel. I am the Executive Director of Texans for Medical Freedom. And if you've been following, you know that we are coming off of a historic legislative session, one that five of our eight priority bills were actually passed and signed into law this session. I'm very proud about that, but a lot of people are asking, what are the plans for special session? Right now, we don't have anything on the special session agenda, but rest assured, we're in communication with all of the elected officials and Governor Abbott's team. And if anything comes up and that changes, you will be the first to know. But our work clearly continues. And on that note, again, I just want to give a shout out again to the leadership in the Texas House, the Texas Senate, and to Governor Abbott for an incredible legislative session. Speaker Burrows, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, and Governor Abbott, we could not have gotten as much done if we did not have them on board. So we're still incredibly grateful, and we will be monitoring everything that's happening during this special legislative session. Started yesterday, I guess. Is today Tuesday? Today's Tuesday, started yesterday and will go for 30 days. So we will be watching very closely to see what comes out of that session. But right now, we don't have anything on medical freedom. Governor Abbott would have to list it as an item they are going to address. And right now, there's nothing medical freedom that is on that list. So, what are we working on? Well, we've got a lot of things that we are working on, but the thing we are going to kind of dive into just briefly tonight is our endorsement process. And we take a really in depth, unique approach to this. And so I'm going to give you insight tonight on what this looks like so you can fully understand the process, and not only fully understand the process, but you can trust the process. You can see when these endorsements come out and Texans for Medical Freedom says we support this candidate, you know the reason why, and you can trust that we are making the best decision on the issue of medical freedom to advance our cause. Okay, so what is our mission here at Texans for Medical Freedom? Well, of course, it's defending medical freedom, informed consent, parental rights, individual autonomy, and that mission is the basis for our endorsement process. Okay, that is the basis. We meticulously craft this questionnaire that we send out to candidates based on our principles. And this process ensures that only candidates who genuinely share our mission are eligible for this endorsement. Why is this important? Well, this is incredibly important because there are some organizations that intermix issues, and they might evaluate medical freedom, and they might change how they evaluate medical freedom defenders, but we're taking a real clear stance and we're standing by our mission. Okay. So, what we are saying is we have thoroughly vetted these candidates. We have looked into their medical freedom positions. They have defended them either by giving us a clear answer in their questionnaire so that we know they have an understanding of the process, and or we are looking at their voting records. Plain and simple. We tell our legislators and our supporters that you will be judged by voting a certain way, and we hold to that standard. Doesn't matter personalities, it doesn't matter other positions that they take on. A lot of people will ask me, well, you only endorse Republicans. Well, if there's a Democrat who meets this standard, they are eligible to receive an endorsement. All right. This is a very fair and balanced process. And the reason we hold this process and this standard very dear and very close is because it matters to our membership. It matters. You guys matter. When we look at you, we need to say that these are people who have committed to defending medical freedom. We hold endorsements to a high moral and ethical standard. These endorsements do not come lightly. So that is the basis for these endorsements. I also want to add that we evaluate to ensure that these races are winnable and that we take into consideration if our endorsement is going to make a difference in this race. I also want to add in here that you have to ask for our endorsement. Candidates come to us. I've had candidates come to me for months saying, am I going to get an endorsement? I've had friends come to me, can I get your endorsement? And they all have to go through this same process. Again, we take our endorsements very seriously. So we review each answer carefully and consider the whole candidate. We consider their policy stances, their depth of understanding, their consistency with past statements, their votes, and their alignments. We ask them questions about their willingness to champion these issues under political pressure. We want to know that you are not going to cave once you get into Austin. We want to know if you are going to fight, if you're going to take a if you were going to take a strong position and fight and advocate for these bills. We absolutely do not rubber stamp endorsements ever. So right now we are in the stages of we've sent out an endorsement questionnaire. If you know a candidate who or you are a candidate that wants to be considered for endorsement, reach out to info, or I think actually it's team at texansformedicalfreedom.org, and our team will actually get that questionnaire to you. It's very lengthy. It asks a lot of questions, but this is the process that we use. So basically, you'll log on to this Google Doc. You will answer some basic questions about yourself and your policy positions, your campaign. We want to know who your team is. And then the questionnaire will get into very specific policy positions. If you are a legislator, we want them to answer the questions why they voted the way that they did. And guys, we have seen this to be incredibly impactful. um, our endorsement is sought after by electeds and candidates all across the state. And we're very proud of that, but we do take it very seriously. So our first round of endorsements will start going out in September. So if you are on this call and you are a candidate and you have reached out, because many of you have, just please fill out the form. We typically do not call candidates. We like to keep things very, show us your form, show us your voting record, show us your policy positions. And so we don't do a lot of outreach. If you have questions, you can reach out to us. But if you haven't heard back, just know it takes us some time to sort through these, and these will starting in September. So again, if you know a candidate, please send this to them. But I want you, the big takeaway tonight on this discussion of the endorsements is just how seriously we take this process. I want you to know, when we put our name beside somebody, that is based on their medical freedom positions and their medical freedom positions alone, nothing else. We do not convolute our endorsements with any other issues. And again, a lot of other organizations do, and we think that is unfair to you. We want you to know where these people stand on medical freedom issues and their ability to get the job done. because it's important that you can pass a bill. We passed five of them this session. We need 20 more freedom fighters in Austin. So next session, we can pass 10 bills. Okay. So that wraps up where we're at on the endorsements. I'm going to hop very quickly into Parents Call the Shots. And school is starting soon, and you are going to see a lot of information coming out from Texans for Medical Freedom on Parents Call the Shots. But I'm getting a lot of questions on the vaccine exemption form. You guys remember um, in the state of Texas, a parent's right to opt out of any vaccine, one or more vaccines, is protected by state law. That is your right. That is protected. You have that right to send your child to public school, public charter, and utilize a vaccine exemption. But one of the bills we filed this legislative session would allow you to print out that form at home rather than request it from the state and rather than have to wait on that form to be mailed to you. This bill takes effect September 1st, but we've been in communications with the department who is trying to make this transition into this new form sooner than September 1st. But right now, if you're going to get a vaccine exemption and you want to promise that you're going to get it by September 1st, or really by the time school starts, probably mid-August, you need to go and order the form from the state just like you currently do. And if you don't know where to get that link, go to our website, texansformedicalfreedom.org, and click on the Parents Call the Shots tab there at the top, and that will take you to a page where there is a link you can click on for the exemption form, and you can fill out the information and they will mail it to you. As soon as this um, process changes, we will let you guys know. We will update the website and we will blast it out to social media. It is a little bit of a tricky transition. Now, the good news about all of this that's really exciting is in the middle of advocating and fighting for a bill this legislative session that would have protected medical and students and veterinary students. It would have protected their right to opt out of vaccines. As we were advocating for that and we were, navigating this process, we started to come to this understanding of we believe this is already protected in Texas law, but the agency is not following Texas law. So Senator Kelly Hancock started the process of working with the Department of Health Services to navigate and to get clarification on if these exemption forms were applicable to medical and veterinary students. The department agreed with the assessment that they were covered under Texas law, and in our communications with them and in their communications with the senator, they have agreed that they are going to start interpreting this law that will protect your students' right. This is huge. Okay. This is a huge win because we were able to, in essence, pass a bill that we didn't pass the bill, but that's what it does. It's the equivalent of passing a bill. Your students will now be able to use this exemption. We are still working with the department to make that change fully, but I just want you to know that if you have college students in medical school, in veterinary school, that it's looking like that rule change is going to come and they will be able to use this vaccine exemption. And starting September 1st, you'll be able to print it from home and not have to wait on the department to send that to you. So huge, huge, huge victory. But please continue to share the Parents Call the Shots information on our social media page, because every single summer we get so many phone calls of parents with their backs up against the wall. Their school is telling them they can't get their kids scheduled, they can't enroll in school, they can't start school, and they're in a panic. What do we do? Well, the best way to just prevent that altogether is for them to be informed of their rights. In Texas, parents call the shots. Go to our website, texansformedicalfreedom.org, and check out the Parents Call the Shots tab. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, or X. We're on all of them. Go share that content and let everybody know that we support informed consent and your rights to choose what is best for your children. So contact us if you have any other questions, but hopefully that will answer most of them about the transition to the form that you can print at home. And I will be so happy to never have to worry about this issue again of kids not being able to start school on time, because we passed a bill to fix that. So I hope you're proud of that legislation, because it was 8 years in the making, and I'm very, very proud that we got it done. Okay, guys, listen, we are 6 weeks away from our gala. Sponsorships and tickets are available. It's $100, and then we got various tiers for sponsorships. We want you to be there. We will be announcing guest speakers. There's going to be a VIP reception. There's going to be great food, and we're going to celebrate the incredible wins of Texans for Medical Freedom, of the Make America Healthy Again agenda. This is a historic time we are living in. If For those of you who do not know me personally, and have not followed my story, I'm the parent of a 24-year-old daughter who was injured by her vaccines when she was 4 months of age. I've been at this a long time, a very long time. I started with medical freedom 10 years ago in the state legislature advocating for our families. And I have to tell you, I really wasn't sure if I would see this day in our lifetime where we would see these historic reforms. So it is so incredibly just special and humbling to be a part of history in the making. And it is incredibly exciting to have you join and partner with us. If you are not a member of our Grassroots Club, for just $25 a month, you can join. You can get a free ticket to the gala, because that's included in a membership, and you get access to really cool things. Like last week or the week before, I did a hour-long interview with Alan Phillips, who is a vaccine exemption expert, and that content is only available to the Grassroots Club members. And so if you join for just $25 a month, not only do you get a gala ticket, not only do you get exclusive content, but you also are part of partnering in supporting Texans for Medical Freedom and ensuring that our legislation gets passed. So follow us on social media, get your tickets to the gala, or join the Grassroots Club. And hopefully this was informative. You can personally reach me at Jackie at texansformedicalfreedom.org and email me your questions. Let's connect. But for tonight, I'm going to sign off, and I'm going to get back to my event here. All right, guys, thanks for joining.